Meanwhile, backstage, Kagura's makeup artists were hard at work, busy coloring Kagome's lips and cheeks, while Kagura herself was showing Kagome the lyrics of the song they would be singing together. "Are you ready, miss?" Kagura trailed off, asking the Miko for her name. "Kagome," Kagome replied simply. "Kagome," Kagura replied with a smile. "Are you ready?" she asked. "As I'll ever be," Kagome stated confidently as she and Kagura walked onto stage. "Look, there's Kagura and Miss Kagome. There's Miss Kagura and Kagome," Shippo said, pointing to the stage as the musicians began to play, and soon Kagome herself began to sing the first verse of the song. "Sing a song, a cure for sorrow. The meaning hidden deep within echoes without cease. Belief in the dreams that I have yet to see. The sky shows light ahead and a light on me," Kagome sang as Kagura then picked up the next verse. "Offering a hopeful appeal for all error or fault or wrong. Learn from all you do. With this song the ties will mend. The dream repeated on and trapped. And now you finished," Kagura sang as the music started to pick up. The two women on stage began to sing together. "Eternal journey draws closer to the end, knowing everyone will seek the same truth, hidden deeply, comes to you along the way. The world became a home, though the strain I share this aria elated. My voice carries on, enveloping all against all odds. Now on my way, the world out there to see, through the strain I share this aria. Grief aside and armed with wisdom, call out the sunrise as life carries on," Kagome and Kagura sang as the song ended. Everyone in the audience was speechless for a moment, but they cheered and clapped in admiration. "I've never heard such wonderful singing before," Moroku stated as he clapped along with the crowd. "You should hear Kagome sing her mother's lullaby," Shippo chirped as he too clapped for Kagome and Kagura. Inuyasha let a rare, genuine smile grace his face as he stared at Kagome on stage. "Well, that was amazing," he said to himself as he lightly clapped, not noticing that Sango and Kilala were looking at him with a concerned expression etched on both of their faces. "Meow," Kagura squeaked as she looked up at Sango in her lap. "I know, Kilala. I'm worried too." After singing the afternoon away with Kagura, as well as having lunch with her and the rest of her companions, Kagome noticed Inuyasha staring at the exit of the inn anxiously. "Kagura," Kagome said as she turned to the demon woman sitting next to her. "Yes?" Kagura asked, turning to the Miko. "It was wonderful to sing with you, but my companions and I must take our leave," Kagome said politely. "Oh, what a pity. Well, when you return, we simply must sing together again, Kagome," the demon woman insisted with a smile, but Kagome only smiled sadly. "I would love to sing with you again and be here. Being able to share my voice is a dream come true, but I don't think I'll ever be able to come back here again," the Miko trailed off. Kagura raised an eyebrow. "But why ever not?" Kagome trailed off, but stopped when she heard Sango clear her throat, giving the Miko a cautious look as she, Kilala, and Shippo shook their heads. "It's hard to explain, but the point is I want to sing with you again, but I can't," Kagome said. Kagura gently took Kagome's hand in hers. "Well, let me reassure you that you will always be welcomed here, Kagome. You may sing with me if you ever do come back, my friend," the demon woman proclaimed. Kagome smiled as she gave Kagura a hug. "Thank you." "Farewell, Kagome, and have a safe journey, all of you," Kagura called out to the 6 travelers as they left the inn and waved goodbye from the distance. "I'm glad to see you've made a new friend," Sango told Kagome as she held Kilala in her arms. "Aw, do my 2 big sisters approve?" the Miko teased. "She seemed decent enough," Sango stated as she stated firmly as Kilala meowed in agreement. "I'm glad too. It was nice meeting another singer and getting a chance to sing for others, like I've always wanted to. I wish I could do it all the time," Kagome trailed off sadly. "But on a lighter note, what do you think of Moroku?" she asked the demon slayer, who nearly choked on her own breath. "I'm sorry, what? You think I like that lecher?" Sango gritted softly so Inuyasha and Moroku, who were leading the way, could not hear her. "I didn't say you did." "But you do! Look, you're blushing," Kagome teased as Kilala nodded in agreement in the demon slayer's arms. Well, you know, Inuyasha seems to like you," Sango stated. "Wait, what? What are you talking about?" the Miko asked innocently. Well, I didn't want to say anything, but before I knocked him out back at home, I saw him blushing when he was watching you sing and play your mandolin, the Demon Slayer admitted. Kagome blushed. He likes me? She wondered softly, as pink blush rose to her fair cheeks. Well, obviously, but the real question is, do you like him? Sango asked. Kagome started, but was cut off when Shippo flew down from the sky in his smiling pink balloon form. The sun is setting. We should find shelter for the night, the little fox proclaimed as he transformed back into his normal form on Sango's hirai coats. Right, Kagome stated as she walked up ahead to catch up to INUYASHA and Moroku. Hey, INUYASHA, Moroku? Where are we spending the night? The Miko asked. We're going to walk until nightfall. We'll build a fire and call it a day then, the dog-eared man replied simply, making Kagome bite her bottom lip nervously. I was thinking we could find shelter or something before sunset, she suggested firmly. No, we'll make it to the Castle of the West sooner if we make all use of all the daylight, INUYASHA stated gruffly. What Lord INUYASHA means to say is his mother is getting weaker by the moment, and the sooner we get back to the castle the better, Moroku clarified in a much kinder way. But we need our rest if we're going to make it to the castle altogether, Sango commented, joining the conversation. Look, we're wasting time by standing around and doing nothing. If it really means that much to you, we'll take shelter in the next cave we find. Happy? Questioned INUYASHA. Kagome smiled at the dog-eared man. Thank you, INUYASHA. The Miko smiled, making the young half-demon lord blush, too, which he quickly covered up, stomping ahead. It wasn't too long before the group of travelers came across a lake with a small cave nearby. This looks suitable for the night, Moroku proclaimed as he surveying the area. I'll get some fish for dinner from the lake, INUYASHA said. Me and Shippo will get firewood, Sango stated. I will accompany you, Moroku said boldly, putting his fist to his chest. Fine, Sango huffed, rolling her eyes. Really? Moroku questioned, a little shocked. Don't look at me that way. The only reason I'm letting you come is because I don't trust you and your wandering hands around Kagome, the Slayer exclaimed. Moroku sighed as he then followed the demon slayer and the little fox deeper into the forest, leaving Kagome and Kilala alone with INUYASHA, who was swiping his claws at the water in the lake to try and catch some fish. Come on, you dumbass fish! I'm hungry! The dog-eared lord growled as he swiped at the water more and more in a more persistent manner. Kagome sighed and put her mandolin and quivered down beside the cave's entrance and walked over to INUYASHA with Kilala in her arms. You know, you might have a better chance of catching fish if you had more patience, the Miko stated. What do you know about catching fish? INUYASHA questioned, rolling his eyes. Kagome smirked as Kilala jumped out of her arms, transforming into her larger form, and brought over the Miko's quiver, which held her bow and arrows, to the Miko herself. Thank you, Kilala. Now watch and learn, dog boy, Kagome instructed as INUYASHA took a step back from the lake's edge, while Kagome carefully positioned her bow and arrow, watching a small school of big fish in the lake. After taking aim, the Miko released her arrow, which shot into the lake, stabbing the two biggest fish at once. The scene made INUYASHA's jaw drop. How did you... He trailed off. His expression made Kagome giggle. Plenty of patience and practice is what it takes, the Miko replied as she then tightened her kimono up to her knees to retrieve the two big fish on the arrow. INUYASHA shook his head. Whatever. Lucky shot was all it was, he stated. Oh, really? Want to test that theory? Kagome challenged. What are you offering? INUYASHA asked, raising an eyebrow. Whoever catches the least amount of fish has to clean up after dinner, Kagome stated. Deal, INUYASHA agreed.